kids, today we're going to be making these lovely red velvet cupcakes. So you're going to need to weigh all your ingredients ready, so then it's just a matter of assembling your batter ready for putting into your prepared cupcake pan. So this recipe is going to give you 12 red velvet cupcakes. So pop your paper cases into your cupcake pan first, then into a bowl. Now you can use a freestand mixer, or you can just use a handheld mixer, or you can just use a wooden spoon and a bowl. But I'm going to sift all of my ingredients just to make sure there's no lumps and bumps. So the first thing you're going to do is put 115 grams of self-raising flour with about 8 grams of cocoa powder and about half a teaspoon of salt. So pop that into a bowl and then sieve it through so that your dry ingredients are lump-free. The next step is to add your eggs and your butter, and then we're going to mix it all together. Now there's a little magic ingredient in red velvet cupcakes that make them really, really soft and moist. So we're going to show you how to do that at the end. So you've got your flour, your cocoa powder, only a little bit of cocoa powder because that's what helps them to turn red, and your salt. Then into this you're going to add your caster sugar and then your butter. So we've pre-weighed everything, so it's all ready. Now onto the stand mixer you're going to beat this till it all comes together to combine. So start off on a low speed first, so that your flour doesn't all cascade out of the bowl. And then gradually turn it up to a medium speed so all of that is combined. Now into this you're going to crack your eggs, so one at a time, and if you're not very confident with cracking eggs, crack them into a bowl first to make sure that you don't get any eggshell in your mixture. So crack, and then that can go into your mixture. One at a time. Lovely. Okay, we'll just turn that off a second. So now for the magic ingredients, and that is food colouring. Obviously, unfortunately there's no natural way of making a red velvet cupcake because you want the red to be nice and vibrant. So you have a little bit of buttermilk, and then you need to mix, some of you might have experimented with this in school, some cider vinegar or some apple cider vinegar, about a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar into a little bowl or a little glass dish, and then about half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. And what this is going to do, it is going to fizz up and put lots of air into your batter. But before that, the easiest way to get your food colouring into your mixture, to make sure it distributes nice and evenly, is to mix it into your buttermilk before putting into the batter. Now you do need to buy the red food colouring paste because the liquid food colouring just hasn't got the pigment and the depth of colour to turn the batter red. So unfortunately you might need to go out and buy this, or you can get it online. So you're going to need about half a teaspoon of food colouring, and if you combine that first into your buttermilk. Now if you haven't got buttermilk, don't worry, you can use a bit of natural yoghurt or even milk. It's just to give a little bit of acidity to your batter. And now you can see that that's a gorgeous red, vibrant colour. Okay, so when the mixture is running now, we're just going to add in our last few ingredients. So the food colouring and the buttermilk go in. Okay, and finally your bicarbonate of soda and cider vinegar. So watch this, it's going to fizz up, so you might want to come in and do a little close up here. So bicarbonate of soda into your, and as it forms and fizzes, you want to get that straight into the batter as the mixture is being combined and mixed together. We'll give it a last little whiz up, and then we're ready to put this batter into the cupcake pieces. If you'd like to have a little bit of vanilla in there as well, then you can pop about 2 to 3 drops of vanilla extract, but that gives it a nice flavour. Okay, we turn that off, and then we are ready to pop our mixture into our cupcake cases. So, okay, moving on. So here's your red velvet batter. You can see it's a lovely dark red now, and when it's cooked it actually looks brighter red. So you're going to need to transfer this now into your cupcake cases. So you want to be filling your cupcake cases about 3/4 full, so that they have enough room to rise up when they're cooking. And then you're going to pop these into an oven, a preheated oven, 170, for about 10 to 15 minutes. Keep an eye on them. Make sure they're cooked through by popping a little skewer into the centre. Make sure that that comes out nice and dry, and make sure they're nicely risen and firm to touch. So into the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. Keep an eye on them until they're risen and firm to touch. So let's see if our cupcakes are cooked. There you go, beautifully risen, firm to the touch. Let's let them cool. So the next thing we need to make is our buttercream cream cheese frosting for our red velvet cupcakes. So again, you can do this by hand with a wooden spoon, or you can use a stand mixer. So into your mixing bowl you need your softened butter, and I have pre-weighed all of these ingredients ready. So your softened real butter, and I like to use salted, but you can use unsalted. And then full fat cream cheese like the Philadelphia, and that goes in with your butter. Now you need to mix this together until it's nice and combined and creamy, and then we're going to add in our icing sugar. So we're going to get this on the mixer and start to combine. You want to let that run for a few minutes so it's nice and smooth and creamy. Then turn it down. And we're going to put our icing sugar in 2 stages. So half in first. Then put your mixer on really low. We'll have a snowstorm of icing sugar. Let that run to combine, and then turn it up, beat it so that all the icing sugar is combined. Now turn it off, then tip in the rest of your icing sugar. Put your mixer on slow, let it combine, and then turn it up to medium. And then onto high, and let that run for just a couple of minutes so it's nice and light and airy. Turn off your mixer, and I always like to scrape down the sides of my mixer just to make sure that there's no lumpy bits of butter or icing stuck on the sides. And let it run for about another minute. Nearly done? And that is your super delicious cream cheese frosting. This is what they use traditionally in America to ice a lot of their cupcake flavours, and especially the red velvet. So scrape down your paddle. And now we are ready to top our cupcakes. So that's our cream cheese frosting all done. Lovely and glossy and creamy and delicious. So I'm going to pop this into a piping bag, but don't worry if you don't have a piping bag. You can just put the mixture on your cakes with a spoon. So you need a little piping bag, and the best way to fill a piping bag is to turn it over and put it into like a high glass. Then you want to pop your nozzle. Now I'm using a plain circle nozzle, so make sure the nozzle is pointing down. And then you want to snip off the end of your piping bag so that your cream cheese frosting can come through. And then pop your frosting into the bag. Lovely. This is where it all gets a little bit messy. Woo! Then bring up the sides of your piping bag. hold it tight, twist it round, and then just gently squeeze that mixture up over a bowl until it gets to the right pressure, ready to squeeze out, okay? So the next thing, here we have our cupcakes, which have cooled completely, because if you put icing on a warm cupcake or any warm cake, it'll just turn into like a really runny, sloppy mixture, which you don't want. Okay, so holding your piping bag down, we're going to squeeze out our frosting. 2, I love doing this, my favourite bit. 3, 4, 5, and 6 here now. And then on top of that, you have a choice. You can put some red sprinkles or some red hearts. I'm just going to use a few little red sprinkles to put on top, just to represent the red in the centre of the cupcake. Whoops. Or you can put some strawberries or raspberries on top of your cupcakes, which look really pretty as well. So there we have our red velvet cupcakes.